Hi, I'm Kurt with Bangert Inc., and I'm out at the farm today, which has nothing to do with what I'm going to talk about. But in this series, I'm going to call it Speaking from Experience. And what I mean by that is I've been in this business for just over 40 years now, and I've been involved in hundreds and hundreds of software sales and construction industry, as well as implementations. And so I think what I'm planning to do with this series is simply give you my advice overall from all that time, and maybe it'll help you out. You know, that's kind of the bottom line. Whether you buy from me or buy from somebody else, that's not really my point. But there are things you want to think about. So, given that, maybe you'll benefit from some of my advice. So today, I think I'll talk a little bit about software and what you should be thinking about 2024, and just my experience now. You know, software, frankly, it's got a fairly long shelf life, especially if we're talking about construction accounting software or estimating software, meaning that you don't always have to have the latest and greatest necessarily. But if you're buying new now, the one thing you definitely want to do is buy the latest technology. You know, in our construction software marketplace, there's quite a number of products. Some of them are very modern, and some of them are not. And we represent in our business both types. We have what I call legacy software systems, and we have the latest. So in our case, we represent Sage. Sage has what I think of as the most modern software out there, which is the Sage Intacct for Construction product line. And then we also still represent Sage 100 Contractor and Sage 300 Construction Real Estate. Those two products were born in the 1990s. And if you were to look at them today, you can definitely tell that. Now, that doesn't mean they're not functional. They don't do a great job. They don't have a lot of features. They don't suit the business. They do. However, if you're buying a new system today, I liken it to, do you want to buy let's say you're shopping for a car, and the dealer has on his lot the brand new 2024 model of whatever type you like. And he also has a brand new 1999 Ford Taurus. Well, they're both new to you, at least. Their technology, what they do, all that stuff is massively different. They may both have a similar lifespan. However, unless you have a massive CD collection, the Ford 99 Ford Taurus may not really. It'll do the job. It'll get you A to B, all that kind of stuff. But it won't do it the same way a brand new machine would do. So you're going to spend your money. You're going to make an investment. Do you really want to in 2024 buy a 25-year-old piece of technology, even though it's brand new? I contend you don't. And the same thing applies with software or any other piece of equipment in your company. Things move ahead, and they move ahead for good reason. And you should, not just because it's new. It's not, in Sage's case, for instance, it's decades between brand new software systems. It's not every other year they're introducing something new that's marginally better. There's a long gap in time. And so that new technology is substantially better. And there's a lot of reasons to be considering it, and we have people that evaluate software today, and they look at legacy systems. They look at Sage Intacct, for instance, and in some cases, you're going to choose a legacy system. Usually because it's apparently cheaper at the very beginning. And I caution you against that, because Well, it's the quote may be less. The long-term cost is not. Because of what you do, choosing a legacy system now basically assures you of one thing, that within the next 5 years, certainly within the next 10, you're going to be buying another software system. You're going to go through an implementation. You're going to relearn it all. You're going to spend more money, all that kind of thing. And I can't tell you how much you want to really think about that, because it's not dollars today. I get that. But as over the lifespan, the total lifetime cost is, you're throwing your money away. I'm not telling you they won't work. I'm not telling you they're not good systems. But if you came to me today and you said, I'm interested in Sage 100, for instance, I'm going to do everything I can to talk to you about Sage Intacct instead, for the very reason that I've just mentioned. It's a better investment. Now, there are cases where the legacy system may make total sense, maybe the right decision. I won't argue against that. But those are fewer and fewer and far between. There's so many different aspects to it. Modern software is easier to learn. It's easier to use. If you're thinking about staffing over time, when someone walks into your company brand new, they see a 30-year-old software system, not the best impression. And for a younger person, it's not career building for them to learn old software, because it's not that far in the future where nobody's going to be using it. It is an attractive thing, though, to learn a modern state-of-the-art system. And it is there's an effect on retention, and there's an effect on recruitment and so forth that you also should give careful consideration to. Beyond that, the benefit to the business, I would highly encourage you to watch some of our customer videos, and so you can hear from them what their experience is, why they chose a modern system and all that. But the general consensus is they get more from it. They get it faster. It takes away some of the manual work and allows them to spend time on analysis, which is what you want your people doing. You want them being used for their highest purpose. And all of those things are return on your investment, period. And that's what you're looking for. I've owned this business a long time. My decisions when we do these things are all about what's the return. Is this something that's going to make an impact on the company, or is it just something that's nice to have? And my contention is modern software today is not a nice to have thing. It is an essential item. And here at Banger, we walk our talk. We're a 100% cloud-based company. We have been now for over 5 years. All of our staff works remotely in our case, but there would be no differential in them using our systems if we're all in the same office. So it works. It works really well. It allows people flexibility, which is another retention and workplace issue these days, by the way, is having some kind of flexible work environment. And I think those are things you always want to be thinking about, because there's real value to your employees to that kind of thing. If they can work from home one day a week, whatever it is, and with a modern system, they can actually work from home and get just as much done as in the office. Now, in our case, we started working from home when the pandemic hit. Prior to that, I would have never considered it. As a business owner, I've been like, no way, no how, we're not going to do this. But because we had already implemented a totally cloud-based solution, we walked in the office on a Monday morning. We told everybody, hey, we're all gonna go home. We're all gonna work from home from now on out. Get your stuff. Let's get going. And I will tell you, by that afternoon, we were fully operational. We had no issues whatsoever, and we have not had any since. So that's just one aspect of it, but really it comes back down to, if you're buying a new system, then you should get a new system. Don't buy a new old system. So that's my recommendation. Now, once again, Sage 300, it was released in October of 1992, so it's 32 years old now from its very first version. It's obviously been improved massively since then. However, and it still does the job. Absolutely does the job. But it doesn't do it in the same way as Sage Intacct does. And that's where I just recommend highly you think very carefully about that before you make an investment today in a legacy software system that you, whether you know it or not right now, the thing I know, because I've been here, speaking from experience, you will replace that. Back when Sage 300 was released in the early 90s, it was state-of-the-art product, absolutely state-of-the-art, well ahead of everybody else. And we had a lot of people at that time who had green screen DOS-based systems going, I don't see it here. The green screen's superior. It's better. It's everything else. And the only thing I could tell them at that time is, before the end of this decade, you will change software. And I would say 70% of them didn't believe that. And I would also say that by the end of the decade, 80% of them had changed. At least 80%. I'm being a little cautious, but I would say really probably 90%. Because by the time 2002 or 3 rolled around, there was maybe 1% of our customer base that was still on a green screen. This is the same thing. By the end of this decade, you will be on a modern system, or you will wish you were, let's put it that way. And so now, if you're in the mode, you're thinking about software, now's the time. Now's the time to make the best decision you can make in regards to your software platform. And so for today, that's the biggest message I have. Think hard about the software you're doing. Think about when that technology first entered the market. And all of these legacy systems have made modifications that make them more applicable for today, but they cannot erase that fundamental platform that they're based on. And that will prompt you to make a change in the future, not that distant future, to a more modern system. So anyway, hopefully this is something to give you something to think about. And stay tuned for more episodes of Speaking from Experience. We'll talk about all kinds of things, from integrations to how software is implemented today, best practices and implementation, what to watch out for there, how you're billed for these things, all kinds of different topics. So anyway, for now, we'll talk to you later.